The new channel. The new channel. Hashtag TNC Now.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following shows are those of the host, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi, and welcome to the new channel. Our passion transforms a community that sees and shares all things new. This is Leanne Cadiente, streaming from Antipolo. Ayan! Welcome back to another episode of In Real Life. Dito pa rin yan sa The New Channel. So if this is your first time watching me, my name is Leanne Cadiente, and I'm a content creator, mommy influencer, licensed financial advisor, and the founder of Work at Home Moms Tribe PH. Yan. Kindly comment down where you're watching from. Ayan. So, our topic for this episode is very exciting, no? And this is actually the second time that we are featuring this kind of topic about homeschooling. Yeah, if you have watched our previous episode, I have already guested, no, one mommy who shared about her homeschooling journey. Yeah, ang hino-homeschool naman niya ay multiple kids, yeah, from different grade levels. But this time, no, one mommy will share how we can homeschool our kids and get them to college. Yeah, so very interesting to know because may mga kids ako na wala pa sa college, but I want them to be homeschooled as well. So this is based from a Filipino mom story, and let me introduce our guest. She is a veteran homeschooling mom, a resource speaker and blogger, co-founder of Educating for Life. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Michelle Padrelanan.
Hello, good afternoon, Lay, and good afternoon sa audience natin ngayong hapon. Ay, umaga pala, no? Ngayong umaga.
Ayan, good afternoon din po, and maraming salamat sa pagpapaunlak sa In Real Life. So, hindi ko na po patatagalin, no? Kasi very curious talaga ako to know how did you decide to start homeschooling your kids, and ano po yung nag-inspire sa'yo to take this path?
Ayan, thank you sa tanong mo, Lay. Pero bago ko sagutin yan, para maintindihan ng audience kung bakit akong inimbitahan mo, dalawa sa mga anak namin napag-graduate ko na ng college. Yung panganay ay graduate ng magna cum laude and valedictorian, and yung pangalawa naman summa cum laude. So, but I'm still homeschooling 2 of my children right now. So, may dalawa pa. Mm-hmm. Okay, so ang question mo, paano kami nag-umpisa, ano?
Yeah.
So, alam mo, when I was young, I was a student in a Chinese school. Medyo hindi masyadong maganda yung naging experience ko doon kasi nung bata pa lang ako, nabubully ako. So, from elementary yun hanggang makagraduate ako ng high school, nabubully ako ng mga classmates ko. Siyempre, pag nabubully ka, masakit yun, di ba? It was quite a traumatic experience for me. Ngayon, yung panganay kong anak, pinasok naman namin siya sa school mula na nag 5 years old siya. 2 years in our small church school. By the time grade 1, gusto ng parents ko, ilipat ko na yung anak ko sa malaking Chinese school din na malapit sa aming bahay. Ako naman, I wanted a different experience for my daughter. Kasi naaalala ko yung years of bullying and then labeling. And I didn't want the same experience for her and our other kids. So, meron akong inkling about homeschooling. And buti na lang, at that time, nag-aaral ako sa isang theological school. I was taking up a few units there. And nagkaroon, yung dean doon at saka yung wife niya, both of them are professors, are also homeschoolers. And they organized a small homeschool, like an orientation, they just wanted to tell other families how to homeschool. They were about maybe 4 or 5 families that are homeschooling, and they shared with us their experience as homeschoolers. Aside from the parents, of course, they had their children there, and those children also shared their homeschooling experience. Ngayon, what I observed about the children, they were really very, very articulate, very well spoken, and they were confident. Yung isang, what was very, alam mo, Lee, ano yung pinakamagandang nakita ko sa kanila, which ikinagulat ko talaga. Yung mga bata, kahit hanggang ngayon, yung mga adults, hindi sila masyado nagpagkwentuhan sa adults, di ba? They're on their own lang. Pero to, yung mga anak ng itong mga hino-homeschool ng mga bata nito, teenagers, mga bata pa, they would go around us and speak to us very confidently. Parang wala lang, para lang kaming magkakapantay. So, yun yung ikinagulat ko. Sabi ko, nakakatuwa naman itong mga batang to. Ang tatalino nila. Kaya sabi ko, sige, gusto ko rin mag-homeschool. Doon na nag-umpisa ang lahat.
Ayan. So, it started out of curiosity lang din pala, no? Kasi parang ganun din po ako, no, Ms. Michelle, na when I found out about homeschooling and I have yung aking eldest na nasa traditional school, yung pumapasok sa school, and nakukwento niya rin sa akin na binubuli nga siya sa school. Yan. Tapos, I was browsing sa Facebook na nakita kong meron palang mga homeschooling groups, no? Iba't ibang communities, may local, may international, merong independent homeschooling. So, a lot of different, paano ba natin tatawagin yun? Iba't ibang klase ng homeschooling styles pala siya. So, for a first-timer like me na interested to know, hindi ko siya alam kung saan ko uumpisahang aralin. Ano ba tong homeschooling na to? Saan ba ako sino ba tatanungin ko? Ano ba yung para sa amin? So, when you started homeschooling po, no, meron ba kayong role model na sinundan na merong format? And I also heard about yung parang i-enroll sa provider, ganyan. So, can you enlighten us more para maliwanagan yung ating mga audience? Ano ba yung difference ng homeschooling sa traditional school? And we also have this independent homeschooling. Meron pang unschooling na tinatawag. Yan.
Dami, ano?
Yes.
Okay, sige. Saan tayo mag-umpisa? Una sa lahat, kung ikaw ay parent at curious ka, paano ba mag-homeschool at gusto mong matutunan to, kailangan talaga ang magulang, siya ang unang estudyante ng homeschooling niya. Ay, sandali, sorry. Okay, sa silent ko na lang. Kailangan yung homeschool, yung mother who wants to homeschool, or not the mother, the parents who want to homeschool, they have to be the first students of their homeschool. Pag nag-homeschool ka kasi, para kang nag-establish ng private school mo na sarili. Ganun siya. May sarili kang school. Ngayon, doon sa school mo na yun, ikaw ang unang estudyante. Ibig sabihin, kailangan pag-aralan mo muna lahat ng kailangan mong pag-aralan. So, paano? Una, maghanap ka ng mga books na pwede mong basahin. Dati, wala at all resources dito sa Pilipinas. Kung hindi lang dun sa mga parents na yon na nakilala ko, nalaman ko. So, ang mga libro nun, bibilhin mo pa sa Amerika. Ngayon, thankfully, meron na tayong a couple of authors, Filipino authors who are talking about their homeschooling experiences. So, marami na. May mabibili ng mga homeschooling books sa mga local bookstore natin. Pwede rin naman, at mas marami namang available sa ibang bansa. So, since online na tayo, pwede na lang tayong umorder online ng mga libro. Marami din gano'n. So, una kailangan pag-aralan, magbasa ng mga libro. Available din naman, napakarami ring bloggers. Marami tayong mga Filipino na bloggers about homeschooling. Marami rin namang galing sa ibang bansa na nagbablog. Yun, marami rin tayong matututunan doon. Tapos, pangalawa, ano na sinabi ko? Read books, bloggers. Pangatlo, get to know other homeschooling families. Kailangan mong, kasi syempre, sa kanila mo malalaman first hand kung anong ginagawa nila sa araw-araw. So, get to know them. Hanap ka kasi ngayon ang dami na, 'di ba? Ang dami-dami na sa Facebook groups pa lang. Ilan na kami na nandun, ilan na yung mga Facebook groups na available din para makamit ka ng mga ibang homeschooling families. Ang maganda pa niyan, if you will actually meet with them face to face para you get to see kung ano talaga yung what is homeschooling like for them. Not necessarily na mag-observe ka ng homeschool nila, kundi yung ma-observe mo yung how they are as a family, makakwentuhan mo yung parents, ano bang mga ginagawa nila sa araw-araw, ano yung mga challenges that they face, yung mga ganon. Tapos yung pang-apat na tip ko, attend ka ng mga seminars, webinars, conferences. Attend ka kasi doon mo talaga makikilala yung ibang mga homeschooling families mo. In fact, Lay, doon sa aming annual na Philippine Homeschool Convention namin, pre-pandemic, at saka yung CHIPS in the past, during the pandemic, marami doon mga parents na nagmi-meet sila doon sa convention and they would continue with their friendship and their homeschooling together. Nakakatuwa, may mga kwento kaming naririnig na gano'n. So, ayun, kahit doon muna mag-umpisa, alamin mabuti kung ano-ano ang mga ito. Ngayon, yung next mo na tanong, ano ba ang traditional school, sabi mo, and homeschool? Okay, just to define kung ano talaga yung homeschooling. Ang homeschooling is parent-led homeschooling. Ibig sabihin, yung parent ang nagtuturo. Hindi lang siya nagtuturo, siya yung namimili kung ano ang ituturo niya. Siya yung gumagawa ng schedule. Tapos of course, since nasa bahay, siya yung nagsiset ng environment ng bata kung saan nag-aaral. Hindi naman necessary na merong homeschool room ha. Basta meron siyang place, kahit na nga dining table lang na maayos, tapos doon siya makapag-aral, okay na. So, ayun. So, homeschooling is parent-led. Hindi siya kasi nung during the pandemic, talagang akala mo lahat nag-homeschool kasi parang literally nasa bahay tayong lahat. Pero kasi, nag-online distance learning yun. So, iba yun. Kasi yun may teacher pa rin Diba? Nag-a-attend pa rin. Actually, classroom setup pa rin siya. Except that online. Classroom setup pa rin siya. Pero, ang homeschooling Lay, talagang yung parent ang gumagawa ang nagtuturo. Siyang involved talaga. Hands-on siya sa education ng anak niya. May nabanggit ka pa kanina, what is independent homeschooling at saka homeschool provider, So, ganito yon. Meron naman din kasi kami tinatawag na, we just call it homeschool provider, but really, it's also a school where we can enroll our students. So, pagka ganon, ibig sabihin nun, pag in-enroll mo sa homeschool provider yung anak mo, meron din siyang tuition fee, parang school talaga siya. The big difference nga is, you just stay at home and the parent is the teacher. Hindi siya katulad ng traditional school. Now, we send our children to school at may mga teachers sila doon. So, yun yung homeschool provider. Kailangan at this time, just a warning lang sa mga parents, kailangan alamin nyo mabuti, kilalanin nyo mabuti yung mga homeschool providers nyo kung talaga ba silang may permit to offer homeschooling. Kasi baka mamaya, meron kasing nangyayari na nawawala yung records ng mga bata kasi wala palang permit to offer homeschooling yung school. So, pwede nyo silang hingian nyo sila ng permit nila. Ipapakita nila sa inyo yun kung meron talaga sila. Ngayon, pag tinawag namang independent homeschooler, ito yung mga nag-homeschool na malalakas ang loob. Hindi sila nag-e-enroll, hindi naka-enroll ang mga anak nila sa any school, pero tinuturuan nila sa bahay. So, kaya sila tinawag na independent. Ayun.
Ayan. Thank you so much po no, sa malinaw at detalyadong explanation ninyo about homeschooling. Now, nabanggit niyo po kanina na yung parents dapat yung unang student, no? Dahil siya dapat yung unang pag-aaralan niya what homeschooling is about. Now, ang follow-up question ko po doon, Ms. Michelle, is since madalas na yung mga mommies talaga yung nagkakaroon ng na-expose sa mga ganitong ideas dahil tayo yung nakababad sa Facebook, tayo yung mahilig with other mommies, no? How do we convince yung mga husbands, yung mga partners na i-share natin sa kanila na, oh, I found out about homeschooling, tapos itong si partner is medyo, syempre hindi naman din siya aware, no? So, pag nag-homeschool ba, should it be like a mutual decision? Both of the parents understand that they want to homeschool their kids.
Oh, good question, Lay. Yes, it should be a mutual decision. Kailangan nagkakaintindihan sila na yun ang gusto nilang gawin. Kasi kung may doubt yung spouse, whether it's the mother or the father, minsan kasi meron ding mga homeschooling tatays yung nag-enjoy sila na sila yung magturo. Ang homeschooling kasi nga, hindi nga siya traditional na method of education. And despite the strides that we have taken to make homeschooling more common here in the Philippines, napakaliit pa rin lang ng number of homeschoolers natin compared sa mga nag-aaral sa traditional schools. Malaking-malaki pa rin ang number nila. And so, yung ating ginagawa na homeschooling, hindi nila masyado naintindihan. For some, it's, they really have zero knowledge about it. And for some, it's even negative. They think ang homeschooling para lang sa mga special children, sa artista, yung mga usual, sa mayayaman, yung mga ganon. So, paano mo ba ma-share itong magandang idea or method of educating your child sa asawa mo? So, syempre, ang maganda dyan, kasi nung una ginawa ko sa husband ko, kinikwento ko sa kanya, pero sa kanya sa kwento, parang unbelievable, kasi syempre, sanay siya sa traditional school. Ang ginawa ko, kasama ko siya umattend ng mga conferences noon. Niyayaya ko. Tapos doon, nakamit din siya ng mga ibang homeschooling families. Pinapakilala ko rin. So, just as I became exposed to homeschooling, kailangan si hubby maging exposed din siya sa mga homeschooling families para maintindihan niya bakit. Kasi pagka may duda at hindi sila iisa sa decision nila na mag-homeschool, baka mamaya yung pa yung maging cause ng friction between the two of them, which is also not good. Kasi nga, staying home lang kayo Ikaw tsaka yung mga anak mo, nasa bahay lang kayo. Tapos may friction, nagdududa si daddy, tama ba yan? Maganda ba yan? Paano yun? Siya ang kailangan na major na moral support ng mommy Diba? So, kailangan magkaintindihan sila. Yun, I think it's really exposure. Makita niya, makilala niya ibang homeschool families.
So I think we can consider that as one of the challenges na pwedeng kaharapin ng isang mommy na interested mag-homeschool. So based on your experience pa Ms. Michelle, ano pa yung mga ibang challenges that you experienced when you started homeschooling years ago?
Okay, yung immediate challenge was yung I didn't get support from my family. Kasi ganun din nga. Hindi sila exposed dito, wala silang alam. All they know is traditional schooling. And of course, the doubt on, kaya mo ba talaga magturo? Ganyan. Una, yung doubt, kaya mo, hindi ka naman teacher, bakit ka magtuturo? Kaya mo ba? Una, pangalawa, sinasabihan ako, bakit? Kaya ka siguro nag-homeschool kasi wala ka ng pera pangbayad ng tuition fee ng mga bata. Huwag ka na mag-alala. Kami na magbabayad. May ganun pa. Tapos yung isa talaga was, pangit yung homeschooling na yan, anong matutunan ng bata dyan? Ganon. Kasi akala nila walang matutunan dahil nasa bahay lang, hindi nila alam na nag-aaral naman kami. And for a lot of homeschooling parents, isa yan sa medyo challenging talaga, yung lack of support from the family. Kasi buti sana kung lack of support lang, Lay, yung hindi sila nagsasalita. Pero ang mahirap kung nagsasalita pa, 'di ba? Marami pang sinasabi na nagko-cause ng hurt feelings sa'yo, 'di ba? So, kailangan, so yun yung isa sa mga hinarap ko, and hinarap ko yun years habang nagtuturo ako sa mga anak ko, habang pinapalaki ko sila. Pero, and years yun na lagi lang ako makakarinig ng hindi maganda, o ano, pero ako, hindi ko na lang siya pinapansin. Desidido kasi ako eh. Una pa lang, nakaset na talaga yung mind ko, tsaka yung heart ko, na ito yung gagawin ko. Gusto ko itong gawin para sa mga anak ko. Naniniwala ako na pag ito ginawa ko, I will be able to give them a better, different future. Ma-encourage ko talaga sila. So, set na yung mind ko. So, yung mga sabi-sabi ng mga tao, hindi ko na lang pinapansin. Kahit nasasaktan ako, pinagbibigyan ko na lang. Kasi iniisip ko, hindi naman nila ako naiintindihan. And in the future, makikita rin naman ang resulta. Which, Lay, is exactly what happened. After so many years of criticism, pagbabatikos, ganyan, nakita nila yung difference. Nakita na nila They started seeing the results kasi nakita nila medyo iba ang ugali ng mga anak namin. Respectful sila. Yun na nga yun, na-enjoy nila yung company ng others. Marunong mag-build ng relationships yung mga bata. And so, nakita nila yung difference, and that's when they started talagang, parang maganda nga itong ginagawa ni Michelle. Lalo na, of course, lalong-lalo na, nung nakagraduate na ng kolehiyo yung panganay. Talagang all praises na sila. Buti na lang, hinomeschool mo, Michelle. Ganyan. Ganun na ngayon sila, nag-iba na. So that's just one challenge. Ano pa ba pwede ko masabing challenge? Yung challenge is yung sa schedule. Kasi marami naman tayong ginagawa, di ba? Hindi lang naman tayo nag-homeschool. Tapos, dati, Lay, akala ko, ginagawa ko yan. Alam mo, gumagawa ako ng schedule. Monday to Friday. Parang school. 7 o'clock, wake up. 7:30 breakfast, tapos bath, tapos first subject, tapos second, tapos break. Parang school talaga ginawa ko. And so, nakakatawa kasi akala ko, kaya kong gawin yung gano'n, na makokontrol ko talaga yung day, na ito talaga yan. And so, pagka nalilihis, kasi syempre marami nangyayari, di ba? May darating sa bahay, may tatawag, meron pala akong kailangan gawin, may iuutos sa akin, kailangan kong lumabas. So, masisira ang schedule namin. Kaya sabi ko, at that time talagang para akong masisiraan ng ulo pag tinignan ko yung schedule ko. Tapos sabi ko, hala, hindi ko nagawa ito, hindi nagawa. Diba nakakaano siya, nakaka-stress. Na yung mga yung mga anak mo, sabi ko, hindi ko naturuan, ganyan. Until such a time na natanggap ko na ganun talaga pala ang days ko. Kasi syempre, hindi naman tayo katulad ng mga nasa school na yung teachers, yun lang ang trabaho nila all day. They work as teachers. Tayo, mothers tayo. Ang dami nating concerns. Ang dami nating ginagawa at ang daming pwedeng mag-fill up ng days natin na meron talagang time sa kailangan natin yun asikasuhin eh. Kunwari nagkasakit o di magkakaroon ng disruption o whatever kailangan mong gawin na madidisrupt talaga yung day ninyo. So, ang key ko doon ay as long as we're getting something done every day. Ganun na lang ako. As long as we're getting something done every day. Kasi di ba naging 4 pa sila. So, ibig sabihin, during those times, nagbuntis ako, nanganak, meron pa ako isa, nakunan. Tapos, pagka nagkakasakit, laging may nadidisrupt. So, naging ano ko na lang is, as long as there is something being done every day, basta consistently, meron kaming na-accomplish, okay na ako doon. Okay na. Kasi kung hindi, kung ipa-pressure ko yung sarili ko na, ay, kailangan lahat ito ginawa according dun sa schedule ko, di ba? Baka masiraan talaga ako na matuluyan ako.
Yes. Doon nga po papasok yung beauty rin ng homeschooling na it's really flexible, no? Na
Yes.
compared to the traditional school na kung ano yung schedule, 8 to 9 subject math, 9 to 10 science, 10 to 11 Filipino, tapos break. So, yun talaga by schedule na susunod. But with homeschooling, what I also loved about it is flexible nga, no? And sabi mo po na as long as something is, may nagagawa for the day na hindi masyadong, you're not being too hard on yourself na bakit hindi ito nagawa, hindi nasunod yung schedule because, yun nga, as mothers, marami tayong mga roles na ginagawa every day. Yan. So, with that po, no, I'm sure na naliwanagan or kumbaga parang nagkaroon ng idea yung ating mga audience out there na ganun pala, no, pag nag-homeschool ka, hindi ka dapat mape-pressure na dahil nakasanayan natin yung school setup na fixed schedule, no, with homeschooling, flexible siya. And, you can really tweak, no, if this schedule is not working, so ibahin mo naman ulit, no, hanggang sa makuha mo yung, kung ano yung tamang mag-fit talaga dun sa inyong lifestyle. Ayan. So,
tama ka dyan, Lay. You got that right.
Yeah, thank you po for sharing that. So, meron tayong mga parents na nagwo-worry about preparing their homeschooled children for college. Yeah. So, in your experience po, no, ano yung mga steps that you take to make sure na yung mga kids mo is or were college ready?
Okay. Ang sagot ko dyan, ito Lay, kasi ang gusto ko, hindi ko lang siya basta iniisip na college lang eh. Kasi matatapos naman ng college di ba, after 4 years. What's beyond that? And so, bata pa lang sila, as I was teaching them, my mind is always thinking, what will they be as adults? Kasi they may be children now, but they will grow up to live their own lives. So, what will they be like when they're already living their own lives? Mas doon ako nakatutok. So, paano? Alam ko naman na ito, di ba, Lay, ang mga anak natin, binigay sila sa atin ng Panginoon para mapalaki natin, magabayan natin. Pero tayo, binigay din tayo sa kanila ni God para nga tayo ang kanilang gabay. Tayo ang magturo sa kanila. And so, sa akin, iniisip ko siya, okay, what kind of adults do I want them to be? Ganun siya in my mind. And so, anong klase sila? So, gusto ko marunong sila magdesisyon. Kasi, hindi naman sila, they are not people that we think of controlling eh. Kasi pag mga bata, parang okay, bata pa to, kaya kailangan lahat control natin. Hindi sila ganun eh. They are really each individuals with their own minds. Kaya nila mag-isip sa sarili nila. And eventually, when they grow up, they will live on their own. So, para sa akin, kailangan yung mga anak ko, gusto ko marunong sila mag-isip at gumawa ng decision na maayos. Mas doon ako nag-focus. So, paano? Tinuturuan ko sila paano nga mag-isip. Yung sa mga araw-araw na mga ginagawa namin, mga proseso, bata pa lang sila, ini-explain ko na yan. Bakit ito yung ginawa? Ito gagawin natin ha, kasi ito yun. Tapos, ini-explain ko pa sa kanila, kahit na minsan din nila maintindihan, Lay, I will really make an effort to explain, kunwari, okay, bakit naging ganito to anak? Kasi ito yung reason behind that. Palaging may ganun kami. So, kahit na minsan din nila maintindihan, what, mommy? You try. Sabi ko, sige lang anak, you try to understand it. So, mas yun ang focus ko, paano sila as adults. And then, pero, Lay, as a teaching parent, I was also strict as that. I really made sure that they finished all their work, the work that they had to do. Yung katulad yun, yung nakakatuwa, yung panganay ko, so meron kami sinusulat na assignment niya. For the whole week na yan, isa-set ko. And then, sasabihan niya ako, Mommy, so syempre nakaset siya, everyday meron siyang gagawin. Tatanungin niya ako, Mommy, if I finish all of this, yung for the whole week, if I finish it in 3 days, what will I do in the next 2 days? Do I get it free na? Is it my free day? Ayan, sasabihin ko sa kanya, okay, if you finish, para ma-encourage siya, sige, if you finish it in 3 days, you get 1 day free. Yay! O di excited siya, tatapusin niya, so self-motivated na siya, tatapusin niya. So, yun yung ibig ko sabihin na marunong sila dapat mag-isip para sa sarili nila. Marunong din sila gumawa ng decision nila. Kasi yun naman yung magkikerry sa kanila through college, di ba? Yun, tinuruan ko sila. So, and then, nung mga teenagers na sila at approaching na yung college years nila, dinidiscuss na namin yun. What is it like pag nasa school na? So, number 1, hindi ako ang teacher mo. You will have many different teachers. At itong mga teachers mo na to, anak, hindi mo sila parent. So, you cannot go up to them and hug them and say, I love you, mommy. Ganyan. Walang ganon. At saka kung ano yung sinabi ng teacher, yun ng law, yun ng authority. Kailangan yung sumunod. Hindi ka pwedeng patigas-tigas ulo. Ganyan. So, yun yung mga tinuturo ko sa kanila. Tapos, tinuturuan ko sila ng test taking. Yun. Pagka nagte-test kami, pagka minsan, tina-timer ko rin pero in-explain ko sa kanila na usually pag sa classroom kayo, meron talagang schedule. Pag sinabi ng teacher nyo na pass your papers or this test is done, hindi na ata pass your paper ngayon, pass your paper pa ba? Hindi ko alam. Pagkagan sabi ko, hindi mo na mapapakiusapan yung teacher mo, kaya kailangan masagutan mo na siya. Tapos, tinuturuan ko rin sila ng some test-taking skills. Like, for example, sasabihin ko, okay, when you see your paper, skim through all of the numbers first. Basahin nyo muna lahat. And then, bago nyo sasagutan. Tapos, pagka nasagutan mo na, pagka meron kang point na hindi mo masagutan, hindi mo alam masagot, skip mo muna yon, hayaan mo muna siya and just answer all of the items that you can answer. After you have answered everything, then balikan mo, sagutan mo yung hindi mo alam. Pag nasagutan mo na lahat, double check your paper. So, detalye, di ba? Talaga double check. Palagi ko sila nire-remind, double check, because if you don't double check, hindi mo alam, meron ka na mali dyan. Sayang naman yung point mo na yon. Pag kay Mami, pag sinabi niyo sa akin na, Mommy, can I redo it? Sige, you can redo it. In school, there's no redoing. If you're wrong, you're wrong. At yun na yung grade mo, sayang. So, better double check. So, pinaprepare ko sila sa mga ganon din. So, may practical, meron ding parang, I don't know what you call it, yung kung ano yung gusto ko sa kanila for the future.
Yan. Yun naman po, no? Very practical nga yung inyong approach, no, when it comes to preparing your children for college. Na yung mga simpleng bagay na ganon, no, na talagang nag-iisip sila on their own, nagiging independent learners nga din sila kahit papano na, and with that approach po, no, para sa akin, mas nagiging accountable sila sa kanilang sariling actions. Kasi pag sila yung nag-isip, no, syempre dapat kasama po nun is whatever action na gawin nila dun sa kanilang decision, dapat ready din sila dun sa consequences or it's either reward or consequences ng kanilang gagawin. Yan. And that, I think, for me is one of the skills na talagang vital, no? Pag ikaw ay adult na and di ba? Hindi naman uso ang redoing, no? Pag mali ka talaga. So, ganong klaseng pagpe-prepare sa ating mga kids, no? As they go to college. So, with that po, no, Miss Michelle, I'm sure meron tayong mga audience na medyo nakakakuha na ng ideas, no, about homeschooling based on your experience. Ano po kaya yung message or encouragement that you would like to share with those parents who are now considering homeschooling their children, and they also want to aim for college success, kagaya nung sa inyo? Ano po yung inyong mga encouragement or tips sa kanila, sa mga newbies pa lang na mag-start?
Okay. So if they're aiming for college success, I'll tell you my secret. And I think I told you already my secret. My secret is that hindi ko goal ang college success sa mga anak ko. My goal for them is life success. Ayun. Kasi pag naset ko na sa kanila yung part na yon, which sa experience ko, yun naman nga ang nangyari. Kasi yung mga bata, sila na nag-decide sa sarili nila that they're going to pursue their Latin honors. You know, hindi naman ako Sila na yun, nakita nila, ay, kaya ko pala. So when they saw na kaya pala nila, they pursued it. Dalawa sila magkapatid. And pareho yung ugali nila in that way, that when they pursued it, they were really very determined. They wanted to do it talaga for themselves. So it's not about academic or college success, although that is part of it. Pero more of my goal was for them to have, hindi naman for the understanding of others, sige, sabihin natin life success, ha? Pero hindi naman talaga just life success. It's really just that as people, that they know how to manage themselves, they know how to manage their lives, and pag sila rin nagkaroon na rin ng pamilya nila, maging maayos din ang pamilya nila. So yun yung pwede kong iwanan para sa audience natin ngayon, na actually hindi talaga yung naging successful nga sila academically, it's a bonus. Yay, diba? Yay, sila. But it doesn't necessarily mean na kailangan, diba sa buhay naman natin, hindi naman lahat ng tao na successful academically ay successful in life.
Yes.
Right? Diba? Hindi naman diba? So, hindi naman kailangan na yun lang maging goal natin as parents para sa mga anak natin. Pwedeng mas taasan natin yung goal natin. Hindi lang sa academics. Kasi nakikita ko, kaya ako sinasabi to ngayon, kasi nakikita ko, minsan yung ibang parents, talagang they're really set. Ay, kailangan. Talagang ang dami nilang pinag-aaral pa nila ng mga extra. Gusto nila advanced in age. Yun yung hindi ko maintindihan, yung kailangan maging, ang bata pa lang, pero kailangan advanced daw ang learning, ganito, ganyan. So, mag-aaral ng advanced. Hindi naman kailangan ng bata yun Para saan ba na kailangan maging advanced, maging siya, parang is it na gusto niyang maiwanan yung peers niya, parang yan, di ba? What's the concept behind it? Hindi ko masyadong, parang ganun siguro, hindi ko masyadong maintindihan. Pero what I would say is for the parents na isipin talaga nila ano yung future na gusto nila para sa mga anak nila. Kasi yun yung ngayon, babalik ka ngayon sa nakita ko na-envision ko na ito yung future na gusto ko para sa mga anak ko. Babalik ka ngayon sa anong gagawin mo ngayon para you can move with your children towards that future. Diba? So that includes academic. Naturuan mo sila, nag-aaral sila. They put value in their education. They put value in family, value in their faith in God, value in hard work. Ayun na yun So parang, and then you pray. Submit it all to the Lord. You pray for them. You pray for everything. And just ask the Lord to bless all your efforts.
Yeah. Yan. And ang pinaka nagustuhan ko po sa sinabi ninyo, parang yung pagkakaroon ng college success nga, no, should not only be based sa academically, no? Parang gusto ko rin po yun mangyari sa aking kids, no? Pagka nakatapos sila or when they finish school, going to college na yung application ng mga natutunan nila all throughout their schooling years ang mas importante para sa akin kaysa sa mga grades. Ayan. Hindi ko pa sa ibang parents, pero sa akin po ganun. Hindi ko masyadong pinipressure yung aking kids na, dapat top 1 ka, dapat perfect ka, dapat ikaw yung pinakamagaling sa class. Sabi ko lang sa kanila palagi, mas importante kay mami yung natututunan mo talaga yung lesson at na-enjoy mo, no? And you are responsible dun sa mga ginagawa mo sa school. So I have yung eldest ko po kasi noon na nag-homeschool siya years back. Ngayon, she's grade 7 and she decided na gusto niyang itry ulit bumalik sa traditional school. So far, ni-enjoy naman niya yung kanyang mga ginagawa. Sabi ko, sige lang anak, ang importante ka mami na i-enjoy mo. Yan. So, yan. Thank you so much. No, I'm sure ang dami pa natin mapag-uusapan, pero we have very limited time right now, no, Miss Michelle. But maraming salamat po, no, sa pag-share ng inyong story, ng inyong journey ng homeschooling ninyo. And my last question for you is, meron po ba kayong gustong i-promote?
Yes, thank you rin, Lay, for inviting us here. So, I would like to invite yung mga binabanggit mo mga parents na gustong mag-homeschool. On November 11, 2023, we have an event for homeschoolers entitled You Can Homeschool. This is our 10th anniversary edition kasi 10 years na po namin ginagawa ito. Nagsaserve po kami sa homeschooling community. Ako po kasama ng mga co-founders ng Educating for Life. 4 po kami na puro po kami mga homeschooling mothers. Ang ginagawa po namin every year, gumagawa kami ng parang homeschooling parent education every year yan. Na nag-i-invite kami ng mga iba't ibang experienced homeschool speakers para po magturo sa mga baguhan or kahit hindi baguhan, yung mga nag-homeschool na ngayon, para matuto kayo paano pa ba yung mga different ways ng homeschooling. Kanina may mga konti ako nabanggit, pero konting-konti lang yon. Sabi mo nga, kung paano ba mag-fit ito sa lifestyle nyo. And there are just so many ways. So, again, ulitin ko, November 11, 2023, 8 o'clock hanggang 5 o'clock ng hapon, isang araw yan, You Can Homeschool. Be inspired, be informed, be empowered by Educating for Life. For the tickets, Lay, punta lang sila sa educatingforlife.net at doon po kayo magre-reserve ng inyong slot. Ngayon, nasa early bird rate pa ho tayo. Very low rate of 1,500 at napakaraming speakers yon, whole day of activities po yon. Huwag niyo pong palagpasin tong pagkakataon na to. Ulitin ko ho, educatingforlife.net. Tapos, gusto ko rin ikwento, Lay, yung aming mga speakers para sa araw na ito. So, syempre kasama na ako doon. Tapos, nag-invite po kami ng mga homeschooling parents na yung mga experience na po talaga at marunong sa pag-homeschool. At sila rin mismo, nagtuturo rin sila sa iba't ibang parents para mag-homeschool. So, nandito si Gina Roldan ng Living Learning Homeschool. Andito rin si Maris Diaros. 2 decades na rin po siyang nag-homeschool. Andito rin si Moira Bunyi. Sa kanya, ang tinuturo niya is classical homeschooling. Si Joanne Parungaw, si May Palakpak, at saka si Janice Lim. Sila po yung mga parents na magtuturo sa atin. And then, since 10th anniversary edition nito, alam mo, inimbitahan namin, hinanap namin yung mga dating umattend nung first na You Can Homeschool. At kinamusta namin sila, nasaan na kayo ngayon? At nakita namin na, yung iba, nakapagpatapos na ng homeschooling. Yung iba nag-homeschool at meron din kaming mga homeschool graduates na kasama dito. So, sino-sino ang mga to? Si Diane Gabriel, si Ginger Arboleda, si Mami Ginger yon, si Mami Chris Amador, At yung kanyang anak na si Kyla Amador, si Norris Mora, at yung anak ko, si Naomi Padrelanan, yung pangalawa. So sila rin, ikukwento rin nila yung experience nila about homeschooling. So ulitin ko lang, Lay, November 11, 2023 yan, at ito ay sa UP Diliman, Bahay ng Alumni. Kunin nyo ang mga tickets nyo sa educatingforlife.net.
Ayan. So dahil sobrang bitin, no, ng ating usapan this episode, I'm sure sa event na yan, maraming matututunan yung ating mga parents, and pwede rin isama, no, yung mga anak para matuto rin sila sa experience, no, ng mga kids na nakapagtapos na sa college. Yan. So thank you so much again, Ms. Michelle, no, for sharing how you can homeschool your kids and get them to college based from your personal story. Ayan, maraming salamat po. Thank you for joining us, no, for this another heartwarming episode of In Real Life. So nagkaroon na naman tayo ng privilege, no, of stepping into the lives of incredible individuals kagaya ni Ms. Michelle Padrelanan, who prove that real stories are often the most inspiring. I'm sure, and I hope marami po tayong natutunan when it comes to homeschooling our kids and preparing them for college. And as we wrap up, no, we want to encourage all our viewers na in your real life, diba? You have the power to shape your own story, whether sa education man yan, sa family, sa relationship, or sa kahit anumang aspect ng inyong buhay. Just believe in your dreams, take those practical steps, and sure na sure yan that you can achieve remarkable things. So, this is your host, Leanne Cariente. Until then, remember that every life is a story worth sharing and celebrating. This is In Real Life on PNC. See you on the next episode.